Aren't we lucky to have heard that original recording of a young man aged 19 years old doing a vocal warm-up before singing in front of his family in 1576. Simply marvellous. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the final couplet with me, Theo Cowan. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode with Joe Eyre. I had a brilliant time recording that episode with him. Laughed a lot. I thought the story that he made up there, based on maybe an element of truth, was brilliant. So if you haven't heard that episode yet, go back and listen to it. What are you doing on Sonnet 144 without listening to Sonnet 143? So with that out of the way, let's take a listen to Sonnet 144, shall we? Two loves I have, of comfort and despair, which, like two spirits, do suggest me still. The better angel is a man right fair, the worser spirit a woman coloured ill. To win me soon to hell, my female evil tempteth my better angel from my side, and would corrupt my saint to be a devil, wooing his purity with her foul pride. And whether that my angel be turned fiend, suspect I may, but not directly tell. But, being both from me both to each friend, I guess one angel in another's hell. Yet this shall I ne'er know, but live in doubt, till my bad angel fire my good one out. So, there we have it, Sonnet 144, and we're talking angels, we're talking devils, we're talking juxtaposition, which I love. And boy, what a good final couplet that was, I thought, personally. Bad angel fire my good one out. I mean, whew, he's cooking on gas here, Shakespeare. And, I mean, my first thought is he's talking about this lovely young man, this gorgeous, angelic man, and this sort of horrible old woman, really, evil female, he says evil female, hellish woman. And it's just making me think, obviously, about the fair youth that we had so many sonnets about. I mean, is he talking about the fair youth here? Is he referring to the fair youth and the dark lady, the two of them, in his life? I mean, it's an interesting one. And I'm sure people have drawn this comparison. I'm not the first one to draw it. I'm sure everyone's going, yeah, well, obviously that's what it's about, Theo. But come on, let me work it out. And it's obviously about this angelic man being corrupted by this woman. But I think we should dive into this line by line and work out what the hell Shakespeare is going on about in Sonnet 144. So we start with, two loves I have, of comfort and despair. Pretty straightforward. I have two loves. One brings me comfort, and the other brings me despair. Already I know which love I'd be more into. Probably the one that gives me comfort rather than despair. But, you know, he's obviously got to write a full sonnet here, so let's keep going. Which, like two spirits, do suggest me still. So, like two spirits, they pull me in different directions, I think is what he's saying here. The better angel is a man right fair, the worser spirit a woman coloured ill. So the better angel is a beautiful, fair man. Maybe he's got fair hair or just fair features in general, aka the fair youth, probably. And the bad spirit is an evil woman. Okay, so we've got the sort of devil angel scenario going on his shoulder potentially. You know, the devil on one shoulder, the angel on the other, whispering into his ear. But actually, in this, they're sort of together, the devil and the angel, which is a nightmare for Shakespeare. To win me soon to hell, my female evil tempteth my better angel from my side. So here I think he's saying, to drag me quicker into hell, this evil woman is tempting my better angel, aka the fair youth, away from my side. What a bastard! How dare she? And then he continues with, and would corrupt my saint to be a devil, wooing his purity with her foul pride. So, same theme here, really. She hopes to make my saint into a devil, seducing him in a way, or seducing his pure nature, his purity, with her foul pride, with her corruption, really. So she is luring this saintly man into her den, let's say, or into hell, and that's not good. That is not good in Shakespeare's eyes. It's messed up. But crucially, they seem to be together here, away from him. And then he continues with, and whether that my angel be turned fiend, suspect I may, but not directly tell. So I don't know if my good angel has been turned evil. I suspect it, let's be honest, but I can't really prove it, is what he's saying there. Then he continues with, but being both from me both to each friend, I guess one angel in another's hell. Now, I don't like saying this sentence. It's crazy bit of writing. But being both from me, but I can't even say it. But being both from me both to each friend. This is classic Shakespeare. Sometimes he does these sentences that I just think, I mean, even at the time, was someone reading that going, yep, got it, fantastic, great bit of writing. Like, when has that ever sounded good? But being both from me both to each friend. Come on, what's that? But I think what he's saying is here, but since both of them are away from me and together, so from me both, but both together, I imagine that one is now trapped in the other's hell. And we know which way round that is. It's the young man trapped in the woman's hell. So I think we know that the fair youth and the dark lady are together now, somehow. I don't know how the hell that's happened, but they seem to be together. And she is tainting him. And now we're on to the final couplet. Yet this shall I ne'er know, but live in doubt, till my bad angel fire my good one out. Ho ho ho. Ah, 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 ah. Quite an evil ending there, isn't it? And he's saying, yeah, I'll never know this for sure. Which is sad, really. I will live in uncertainty until my bad angel completely destroys my good one. So until she just almost sort of devours him, is how I imagine it. Poor guy. Didn't stand a bloody chance. And I can't tell if this is just Shakespeare being ultimately jealous about the fair youth and this woman, the dark lady, being together. And he's like, oh God, she's going to mess him up. She's a bad person. Or she actually is a bad person. He's genuinely worried about the fair youth. I mean, jury's out, of course, but we know Shakespeare likes to, he does make some stuff up, doesn't he, really? Let's be honest. And he does get very emotional and quite fixated on people. So it's hard to tell what the exact scenario is here, but it's definitely not, it's not great for Shakespeare. But he does sound a bit jealous in my eyes. So there we have it, the breakdown of Sonnet 144. Now, I think it's about time we put this to our story. Of course, we had Joe on in the last episode, so the story was sort of halted there. But if you remember, back in Sonnet 142, Shakespeare has chased after the Dark Lady after reading her a sonnet, and she's disappeared into the night, and she's had a lovely night at the pub. If you remember, she's had a few drinks, she's got off with quite a few people, she's very sexually liberated as the Dark Lady, and he eventually discovers her, and she's under a street lamp, and she's making out with this woman. She's having a great time, and Shakespeare goes, what the hell are you doing? And she turns to him and goes, you know what, you've been with other people too, so why are you having a go at me? And she's sick of it at this point. And Shakespeare's saying to her, well, like this woman that you're making out with, she could have a husband. She could have a boyfriend. And the woman that the Dark Lady's making out with, she says, no, I don't. I'm single, actually. So it's all fine. It's all above board. And Shakespeare decides, of course, as is Shakespeare's wont, to sort of freestyle a sonnet. Sometimes, usually he writes them down, but this time he gets some inspiration. The Dark Lady's there, and he starts freestyling, and people in the street start gathering around. It's 2 a.m. of course. It's late, but they come to their doors hearing the commotion. Shakespeare goes, "Hey, you want to hear a freestyle sonnet? Check it out." And this freestyle sonnet is all about Shakespeare saying to the Dark Lady, "Look, it should be acceptable for me to love you in the way that you love others. You know, you seduce all these other people. I should be able to love you and seduce you." So let's see how that sonnet was received and how Sonnet 144 fits into our story. Shakespeare finishes reading, or should I say freestyling, Sonnet 143. The old woman in the doorway who had been beatboxing along stops. She's very pleased with the job she's done. And there's a little moment, there's about 6 or 7 people in the street watching. A slow clap starts and quickly dies out. And Shakespeare says, "What, that's it? I mean, come on. That was bloody good, I thought." People turn their back to him and start heading indoors. It's late after all. The Dark Lady says, "Shakespeare, I have to tell you something. I appreciate you loving me and giving me all these sonnets and stuff." Well, I don't really appreciate the sonnets, but I guess I have to say that. Shakespeare says, "Yeah, you do have to say that, because I'm a bloody writer, alright? I'm one of the best around, so you should appreciate my sonnets." And she says, yeah, sure. "But I need to tell you something. I am seeing someone else." And Shakespeare says, "Yeah, I know, you're seeing loads of other people. You've made that very clear." And she says, No. It's more serious than that. I think I want to see him exclusively. Exclusively. The word rings out down the street. Shakespeare is shocked. What? The Dark Lady? She's been sleeping with all these other people. She's been getting off with men and women left, right and centre. And now she wants to be exclusive with someone he's never heard of? He can't believe his ears. And so he says, "Well, who is it? Who is this man?" And she says, "I don't think you're going to like who it is." And Shakespeare says, "Oh, do I know them?" And she says, "I think you might. We've talked about you." And Shakespeare says, "Okay, well, who is it?" And the Dark Lady says, "Well, look, I'm meeting him in half an hour." And Shakespeare says, "You know, it's 2:30 a.m. I mean, who arranges to meet someone at 3 a.m? And she says, "Well, he's a night owl. He likes his late nights. Come, follow me. I'll show you to him." And so Shakespeare traipses behind the Dark Lady as she walks him through the streets. And eventually they find a shadowy man waiting in the darkness of a bridge which crosses the River Avon. The Dark Lady calls to the man and he slowly turns round. Shakespeare goes, "Oh!" That was a gasp, in case you didn't know. And the Dark Lady says, "Yes, it's him." And the man that has turned round says, "William, it's been a long time." Shakespeare is staring into the eyes of the Earl of Southampton, aka the Fair Youth, aka Shakespeare's Fair Youth. He hasn't seen him for about 30 sonnets. Shakespeare measures time in sonnets, of course. And he says, "This can't be. You and her." And he says, "Yes, it's true. We have fallen madly in love." And Shakespeare says, "Well, she's evil. You're a nice person. She's evil." And the Earl of Southampton says, "Look, Shakespeare, you cheated on me when we were together all the time. That's why it didn't work out." And Shakespeare says, "Well, yeah, she's doing the same. She's cheating on you all over the place." And he says, "Look, I know she can be a bit evil, all right? But I think I love her." Shakespeare can't take any more of this. He turns, crying, sobbing, screaming, and runs as fast as he can. Behind him he hears the Dark Lady and the Earl of Southampton call out, "Shakespeare, come back!" But he's gone. He's gone into the darkness of the streets of Stratford. Eventually he arrives home, and he bursts in through the door. Percutio, his cat, is waiting for him on the couch. He looks up at Shakespeare. Shakespeare looks down at him. Percutio's little paw wipes the tears from Shakespeare's eyes. And as Shakespeare calms, Percutio looks at him as if to say, "Tell me everything." And Shakespeare says, "Well, I know no one else likes my sonnets, but you like them, right?" Percutio sighs, a slow cat sigh, and then nods his head. Shakespeare says, "Good, because I'm going to write a sonnet now, and it's going to explain everything. I can't use my own words." And so he hurriedly scrawls Sonnet 144 on a bit of parchment, tears staining the ink. And when he's finished, he wakes Percutio up, because it's been a couple of hours. Percutio groggily opens his eyes, and Shakespeare reads Sonnet 144. I have two loves. One brings me comfort, the other brings me despair. Like two spirits they pull me in different directions. The better angel is a beautiful, fair man. The bad spirit is an evil woman. To drag me quicker into hell, this evil woman is tempting my better angel away from my side. She hopes to make my saint into a devil, seducing his pure nature with her corruption. I don't know if my good angel has been turned evil. I suspect it, but I can't prove it. But since both of them are away from me, and together, I imagine one is now trapped in the other's hell. Yet I'll never know this for sure. I will live in uncertainty until my bad angel completely destroys my good one. So there we have it, Sonnet 144, and the story to go with it. God, it's like a Marvel movie, isn't it, or something like that? Is it the Avengers? I've never actually seen the Avengers, but that's when all of the sort of superheroes come together, and I imagine, the Fair Youth and Dark Lady is sort of in the equivalent of a Marvel universe, and this is the episode where they've got together. And it's pretty big time, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine reading these sonnets back in the day and then seeing Sonnet 144 and going, oh my God, Dark Lady and Fair Youth, collab, crossover, the crossover we all wanted, but we didn't think would happen. Shakespeare's giving it to us. It's exciting, isn't it? Anyway, join me next week to see what happens between the pair of them next. Until then,